Alright, y'all, this is your boy Mike Fallon coming at you right now with my Batman v Superman review. I give it overall a 7 out of 10. Now, it wasn't bad, it wasn't epic, it was satisfactory. It passed. Especially if you know about DC a lot, you would like it more. But if you're not DC savvy, which I think that they didn't take that into account, it came off a bit confusing. Plus, they cut out 30 to 40 minutes of footage. So the version you saw in theaters was a lobotomized version that Warner Brothers cut literally about a few weeks to a month before the movie was supposed to come out. So not only did they mess up Zack Snyder's vision, he's as one has to take the blame for it. But from what I saw, so also, I don't know if extra 30 minutes is going to change everything. But let's get into it. Yeah. So we're going to start off real quick about the inconsistencies in the film. Now, I'm going to bring up the inconsistencies. But like I said, I give it a 7 out of 10. So I'm not hating on this film, I'm just talking about my thoughts. So how did Superman know Batman's identity? They never talked about that. Because when they fought at the end, in the like the broken down structure, when you had the kryptonite spear, said Bruce, first off, bro, you guys didn't have an intimate moment of that nature when outside of the convo at Lex's party. Because that was the only time you guys really had an interaction inside your guises, inside your costumes, your fake personas, to hide your real identities. So how did you know that was Bruce Wayne, and why didn't you go to him earlier? That's something I never got. If Batman emailed Wonder Woman the Justice League files, why in the last final fight of the film did Batman ask Superman, "Is she with you?" Now, if they would have elaborated more, thinking, "Oh, she might be an ally of Superman," I sort of feel like I might be able to trust her. That makes sense. Not just, I'm going to email her. Is she with you? Because I don't know. We just need more clarification on it. Now, with the African case, when he had to save Lois Lane when she was captured in Africa, why wasn't that continued or further elaborated on after the courthouse blew up? I didn't get that either. Like that's an open, loose end. Now, is it going to be picked up in Justice League Part 1? That would make sense, and that would be a good tie-in. If not, or if it was cut out of the 30, 40 minutes that's missing from the film, that's just, it weakened the theatrical. Okay, and why wasn't the final fight of Man of Steel brought up in court? Why are we focusing on Superman saving Lois in Africa when millions died in Man of Steel? Well, not millions, but hundreds, thousands died in Metropolis. I mean, I understand that's why it pissed off Batman. I just don't get that. That hurt the theatrical cut. Maybe if it's missing from the 30, 40 minutes, we're going to see. But like I said, them cutting that stuff out, it hurt the theatrical release. It was Mercy Graves, Lex Luthor's assistant. Make it super quick. In some iterations, she's human. But in other iterations, she is a cyborg or a robot. Especially if you watch Young Justice. So why would you kill off Lex's favorite bodyguard? I don't get that. Unless some way she shielded herself, but that wasn't shown or probable in the way they showed the destruction. This is another one of my things. Okay. Why did Lex Luthor need Batman and Superman to fight to kill each other? That takes away from the whole point. Because Lex is just supposed to hate Superman. And if that's the case, why didn't Lex and Batman bump heads in the last 20 years? They should have touched more on that. That Superman knew about him, but or that he was just retired. But Superman was either idolize him or just acknowledge that he knew of his presence. Because I don't get why you didn't know he was Bruce Wayne the first time at the party, which he's globally famous. And why do you know about the Batman like that? Theatrical cut just didn't give me that. Because Lex Luthor always goes one-on-one with Superman, unless he knows to manipulate people into it. But he usually doesn't like that. He wants to take the credit for the kill. So, and plus, what was Lex's driving force to hate Superman? Is it literally just his Napoleon complex of being a human who feels inferior to Superman's presence? Or the thing they could have done is have like an extended family member of the Lex Luthor family die in the beginning. The same building that old gentleman died in the Wayne Tower. Have a Lex family member die, or like a friend of his die. Someone he cared about to die, to focus his hatred on Superman. That would have made more sense than why he was focused in his endeavors. Batman killing people. Now, I'm half-half on this. I was pissed, and I sort of got it. This version of Batman is loosely based on Dark Knight Returns, where he's in the 60s, and he's a brutal fighter, and he doesn't care anymore. He just gives no Fs. But I think it took it too far. He was reckless when he drove, trying to catch the nuke, and it was just no, not the nuke, the kryptonite. It was just I just don't get why he was so reckless when he kills people. That's not Superman, the Batman I know. Now, okay, we're down inconsistencies. I liked how they introduced the Justice League. I think it was smarter, so that way they were like, okay, all these other people exist. Okay, let's move back. Let's go back to the main storyline. I know it was like a quick setup, but it would have made more sense if the Justice League came together at the end. Maybe they were made aware in the beginning, then they came and helped kill Doomsday. But I understand why, time constraints, money constraints. But I'm glad. But you know what? I think they did a good way of setting up the DCU, and we're gonna see what happens in Justice League Part 1. And I also like how they sort of did set up Apocalypse already in the future scenes, the flash forward scenes, which I called on by the way in one of my previous Citizen Cinemas. The Paradigms look dope. I just want to get a look at Darkseid. I wonder what it's gonna look like. All right, so I mean, you know. But just to quickly touch on the characters, Batman overall was one of the 2 favorite characters for me in this film. I like Superman, but he wasn't one of my top 2. For me, Batman and Wonder Woman pulled the movie for me. I loved their independence. I loved the way they did it. I mean, even though Wonder Woman got the less time, she felt like my Wonder Woman. She wasn't like a nutty feminist to where like she hates men in that sense. No offense to people. I'm just saying like she wasn't like a caricature embarrassment of what feminists should be, because Wonder Woman is a feminist, but she does it the proper way. And she wasn't a damsel in distress. She was independent, she was powerful, and for those who don't get it, when she fought Doomsday in the end scenes, the reason why she was able to cut through his skin is Kryptonian DNA has 3 weaknesses. Kryptonite, magic, which what her sword and shield are, and red sunlight makes him human. So if you catch your man under red sunlight, you can beat on him and hurt him like an actual human, because they're human under his natural red sunlight. Just to get that out of the way. Lex Luthor, I understand they're trying to make him like what a modernized Lex could have been. I wanted still an older Lex Luthor that was more majestic, more, how can I say this? More set in his ways, in a sense. Not brawlic, but stoic. A more stoic, like, you know what I mean? Like an older, more content, like he knows what he has to do, Lex Luthor. Now, Jesse Eisenberg, he did kill it to me. I liked his rendition of Lex Luthor for the fact of he was so smart, calculating. The funniness, I have to get used to. It's like an acquired taste for this Lex Luthor. I acquired it. I felt he did cool. He did good. We're going to see him do better than future ones. But for this rendition, for all what they did in this film, I think he pulled off what he needed to do. Now, Superman for this one, the reason why I didn't really tend to like this Superman, I like Henry Cavill as Superman. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't like this rendition of him in this film only because he was compromising his morals too much. He was like, oh, well, you know, we're all not perfect. We make mistakes. I don't know if I can do this. Maybe I have to kill him. Like, nah, man. Superman in the comics and in the TV shows even, and especially in the cartoons, he never breaks character when it comes to his morals. That's the one thing I hated. I understand if he questions them, if he had a crisis of character. I just didn't feel if that crisis character they did show in the film was true to it. It just didn't stick the way they did this crisis character. I was turned off by it. But you know what? He's gonna kill it in Justice League Part 1 because even though they did kill him in the film, it was just their way of shoehorning the death of Superman to move on. Even though I wish they didn't throw away Doomsday as a secondary villain because he's way better than that. Lois Lane. This Lois Lane, Man of Steel, she was cool. I just didn't like her in this one. She felt like too much of a damsel in distress. She was just the girlfriend that got in the way. And at the end fight scene, he's like, you're my world. While he's fighting Doomsday, like, you're supposed to focus on Doomsday. He's going after Wonder Woman and Batman. This isn't to get lovey-dovey. This isn't a damn CW show. You know what I mean? This isn't One Tree Hill. Freaking 90210. freaking get your bearings back and focus on Doomsday. You got the dang spear fly, stab him. That's just, it has got to me that she felt like a weakness and a hindrance to Superman more than assistance and a lover. So, I mean, you know, it showed the relationship cool, but I feel the way that they had her act in this one, I just wasn't with it. Maybe she'll do better in the next one. I'm not going to knock her down as an actress. I'm just going to knock down the way they had Lois Lane in this film only. I just didn't like it at all. It's the weakest performance I've seen since Superman Returns. Okay, Doomsday. Now, they did stick to his origin being Kryptonian. I did like that. I just felt like you shouldn't have Zod involved in it. Just get rid of his body. That was a waste. So from 1 to 10, I give this Doomsday like a 6.5. Maybe a 7 because, you know, it was live action. I don't like how they gave him limited time, no backstory truly, to where it could have felt as impactful as in the comics. So I just wasn't with it. And then they wasted that crippled gentleman that worked for Bruce Wayne, this disgruntled employee who blew himself up. They could have used him as Metallo. That would have perfect Metallo. They wasted the opportunity for me. But yeah, like I still, even though I have my cons of it, pros where I liked it, special effects were dope. I like that this is my new Batman. Finally, for me, it goes Kevin Conroy, Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, Christian Bale, everybody else. Sorry, that's my order now. That's my order. I mean, for me, Michael Keaton was the Superman Batman I was introduced to, live action. Kevin Conroy was the voice, and he gave me the heart of Batman. It's like Michael Keaton was the soul, Kevin Conroy was the heart, and Ben Affleck has the mindset that I like. But Christian Bale had the backbone. So that's why they're in that setting for me. Yeah, this is my quick review on Batman v Superman. If you have different views or want me to add on to it, I can do a part 2 of this. Leave your comments below in the video. Let me know your thoughts, share, like, and comment. And let me really know your thoughts of this, and we can even do like a live chat about this. We can get that set up. If you want that, leave it in the comments below and let me know. All right? It's your boy Mike Fallon with Citizen Cinema. Also, this movie review is also brought to you by My Geek Review. This is going to be a joint venture right now for my future movie reviews. Thank you. Y'all take care. See you next time.